And we have a few pro-gun patriots in this country, and a few really outspoken pro-gun patriots. And I am very proud to announce, and also to let you know that she wrote the foreword to my book. And I'd like everybody to give a hand to Jan Morgan, my good friend.
Thing about podiums and speeches. I like to just talk. Because we're all on the same side here, right? I don't think there's anybody in this room that is anti-Second Amendment. Am I correct?
Yeah.
If you are anti-Second Amendment, raise your hand. Or forever hold your knees. Okay, good. So we've got that cleared up. You know, I see a lot of familiar faces, Jane Witherall. Let me tell you something, folks. This lady right here, she is a sharpshooter. If I'm having a really bad day, she's having a really good day, she might come out shoot me. Just kidding. She's amazing. Dr. Jack and your wife, lovely. It's lovely to see you today. I decided on the way here, while I was stuck in traffic, it was a wreck, a bad wreck. Thank goodness it wasn't me, but anyway. I decided on the way here to talk to you about something else, other than what I originally came to discuss with you. Did that on the way here. Because I was thinking about, and always before I come and speak to a group, you know, I can do it my way. I can sit at home and say, okay, what do I think these people need to hear? What do I want to say to these people? But invariably, I pray about it. And I say, God, what would you have me say to these people? What do they need to hear from me? Because this isn't about me. This is about your will. And you know the hearts and minds of these people here today. You know what? He always brings me back to where I need to be. And he's not failed me yet. So I'm going to talk to you about something that I think is probably rumbling around in this room. It's that big white elephant in the room that nobody wants to talk about because it's not really comfortable. But I really became aware of how bad this thing is when I went to the Republican National Convention. I was there all week. I was there to be on Fox News. Oh, you're trying to videotape this? You know, did no one warn you that I am a nightmare to TV cameras? You see, I'm here for them today. I'm not about being on TV. I have plenty of FaceTime. I'm here to talk to you guys, and I know it's better if I can kind of work my way around here. But see, when I was at the Republican National Convention, I was there all week to be a part of history. Number one. Number two, Fox News had me there to do Fox Hits. I was there to talk about whatever was going on that day in that moment. And the way things have been going lately, every moment it's a different story. All right? And while I was there, I was sitting in the parking garage getting ready for a day of interviews that were already stacked up. And my cell phone rang. And I didn't answer it because I did not recognize the number. I get calls like that, you know, from the FBI. And last time my cell phone rang, I didn't recognize the number. It was the counterterrorism unit of the FBI. But anyway, so I'm looking at it and I thought, it's important to leave a message. It turned out it was a producer for CNN International, and she wanted me to come on their set that day and do an interview. And I thought, oh man, CNN, that's enemy territory, right? I really want to do that? No, I don't want to do that. I don't want to go over there. And besides that, the anchor of the show that they wanted me to go on, her name was Hala Gorani. Yeah, see, you're thinking the same thing I was, right? I'm thinking, okay, this girl hates me. She stands for everything I stand against. So this is not, I don't want to go there. I've got plenty of stuff to do today. I don't have to talk to her. Besides, the people that watch CNN, they're not going to vote for our side anyway. So I need to spend my time on Fox because we've got a lot of infighting going on. We got to get this stuff straightened out. We all got to get on the same side here. So, as usual, I prayed about it. It's like, God, just let me know what to do because I got to call this woman back. I don't know whether to do this or not. And he didn't say no. In fact, as I was praying, she called again. And okay. So I answered the phone, and she said, we want you to come on Halah's show. And I said, okay, what are we going to talk about? She said, well, I'm not really sure with whatever's going on at that moment. I said, okay, fine. It came out before I could even think. Just, okay, fine, I'll be there. And so I went. And I walked in, and I sat on the set next to this lady that I'd never met. Check this off. Attacking me. Has anybody else been attacked by their name badge? Well, you got long hair and it gets stuck in your hair. Okay. So I sat on the set next to Halah with no warning about what we were going to discuss. And she said this. I don't really understand this whole Make America Great Again thing. I mean, what are you saying, Jan? What are your people saying? Make America great again? Are you saying we're not already great? Yeah. And I said, well, Halah. I am saying that America is not what she once was. Because I remember a time, Halah, when I could go out into a public place and not worry about getting blown up by an Islamic jihadist. I remember a time, Halah, when I didn't have to worry about getting my head sliced off by an Islamic jihadist in my own country. And she said, we haven't had a beheading in America. I said, excuse me? This is all live now on national, international TV. I said, excuse me? Halah? Oklahoma? And she said, well, I don't recall that. And I said, well, I find that quite shocking that an international news anchor could forget the most horrific thing that has ever happened on American soil, the day that we had our first beheading. I mean, this is America. We don't have beheadings in America. How can you forget that? And I said, yes, Halah, let me remind you, an Islamic jihadist, a Muslim, sliced off the head of an innocent woman and killed her. Then he began slicing off the head of another innocent woman before a good guy with a gun came in and saved the day. And by the way, on this gun stuff, I am really into the Second Amendment thing. If you want to talk about that, I'll be glad to discuss that with you as well. She said, I am very familiar with what you are about. She could not wait to get me off that set. I was having so much fun. And I thought, yes, okay, this was a good thing I needed to do this. I'll never be on her show again, I'm sure. I don't know that CNN will ever call me back. But yes, but thank you, God. That was a moment that needed to happen. And so, anyway, sometimes, folks, the reason I told you that story is sometimes we have to get out of our comfort zone. And I know that we've got a lot of upset people, we've got hurt people, we've got angry people. I know that. I understand it. I promise you I do. I understand it. But, you see, there's a difference between being in the first quarter of the football game and being in the fourth quarter with one play left. And folks, we can continue to have this discussion and debate, and we can talk about, well, this is not the person that I wanted or you wanted or whatever. But the bottom line is, we gotta go ahead and win this game first. Because one of the other things that Halah and I discussed, when she said, she was asking me, so what is it, how can you as a woman support Donald Trump? I said, well, because as a woman, I understand that the right to defend life is a basic human right, and Hillary Clinton wants to take that right away from me. Because as a woman, safety is that every day when I walk out my door, I don't have to go, oh God, please protect me, because I can't. You know, even Jesus told his disciples, get your sword. And if you don't have the money to buy one, sell your cloak. God will not do for you what you can do for yourself, right? So here we are, we're in the fourth quarter. And we've got one play left, folks. We've got one. And we've got all the best people in America. I am convinced the greatest people in America are all on our side. And the fact that we're fighting in between each other, okay, I understand that. And the reason we're infighting is because we're passionate about what we believe in. And that's a good thing. It's great to be passionate. But right now, if we don't win this game, we got one play left. And let me tell you something, folks. There are one of two people will be the next president of the United States. One of two. It's going to be Hillary Clinton or Donald Trump. And we know what Hillary stands for, folks. Just in case, forget all the crime and the corruption and all the rest of the drama and crap that is associated, and the deaths too, that are associated with the Clintons. Just laying all that aside, if you didn't vote in this election except on one issue alone, one issue, and that is the Second Amendment, even if that was the only issue you voted on, do you know where Hillary stands on 2A issues? Hillary has said, now this is not what Jan says she says, this is not what some reporter said she says, this is Hillary Clinton on video. Look it up, it's documented. Hillary Clinton has said, we have entirely too many guns in America. I wish I could debate Hillary Clinton. Because she thinks that we, the gun owners, are the problem. Let me tell you something, people. If 90 million gun owners in America with over 300 million guns and 12 trillion rounds of ammunition were the problem, you would know it. You would know it. Not only did Hillary say we have too many guns in America, Hillary says she really likes this Australian method of gun control. Let me tell you what's going on in Australia, just in case you didn't know. I know, because I know not only what I read, but I have people from Australia who live in Australia who come to America every year for vacation for 5 weeks. And you know what one of their vacation destinations is? The gun cave. Yes. Yes, a physicist and his daughter is a master chef, and they come to America every year. And the gun cave was one of their first places, and now it's a yearly place that they come. They told me what it's like firsthand. She has had concussions. She's been beaten up. Because when Australians brag about, well, you know, look, we don't have the gun crime problem that you have in America because we got rid of our guns. But what they don't tell you is the number of rapes and assaults and abductions and murders are skyrocketing because the innocent people, the most vulnerable people in their society, have no way to defend themselves. Not only did their government take their guns, oh, guess what? Just FYI, when you give the government an inch, they take a mile. So this common sense gun control crap that Hillary Clinton and the anti-gun people talk about is not common sense. It's all out. It's a way to take and take and take and take a little at a time. Because in Australia, not only did they take the guns away from the people, you know what else they did? The people started wearing ballistic vests because but the bad guys still had guns. Shock, shock. Isn't that amazing? And so at least if they wore bulletproof vests, they had a way to protect themselves. If they got shot, I think maybe I might survive. Then the government came in and said, no, you can't wear ballistic vests either. Took their vests. Because that affects law enforcement's ability to take down people when they're wearing ballistic vests. Oh, guess what? The bad guys still had ballistic clothing. So, back to the point. Here we are. We've got Hillary. And we've got Trump. And I know how you feel some of you feel about Donald Trump. I hear it, come to my range, we talk. My range is a hangout. It's not just a place where people shoot guns. People come there and we solve all the world's problems. Yes, we do. We've got Cruz people there, we've got Trump people, in fact, there are actually 2 Democrats that belong to my range. Can you believe that? I'm working on one of them, I'm working on him. The other one hasn't been back since I worked on him the last time. I was nice, I thought I was nice. I was just trying to, impart facts. But as Dan said, when you're dealing with the other side, sometimes facts just they don't work on logic. Their rants are emotion-based. But so here we go, folks. We have to come together. Because what I told Hala, when she said, so what is it about you? I mean, how can you as a woman support Donald Trump? And I said, well, let me talk about why I can't support Hillary first. And I went over those things. And I said, and besides that, I'm not against a woman being the first, I'm not against having a woman president of the United States, all right? This is not about a woman issue. But since you've made it that, let me just say this, Hala. I do not want the first woman president of the United States to send this message to women. And this is the message that Hillary Clinton sends. Ladies, the only way you can make it in America is to ride the coattails of your husband. No matter how bad he treats you, he runs around on you. He's abusive to women, and you continue to promote that abuse by standing against those women. Yes, that's the kind of woman we want representing us in Washington, D.C. as the first woman president? No! No! For Hillary Clinton, if decades ago, when Bill was philandering around in Arkansas, if she had said, you know what, I am not putting up with this. It's called adultery, and I do not have to put up with this. I want a divorce. I don't have to have you to make it in America. I would have a lot more respect for her had she done that. But I do not want that message to go to our little girls that, okay, girls, the way to succeed, no matter how bad he treats you, is just ride his coattails. It's the only way to make it to the top. So, Hala changed directions there. We quickly got off of that subject. But here's the thing, folks. We got this infighting thing, and it's got to stop now. It has to stop. Okay? It became a national news story when I withdrew my endorsement of Ted Cruz. Guess who I ran into at the airport in Cleveland? Not Ted, no, not Ted. Nancy Stewart. She and I were in the same baggage claim area. And I thought, yeah, this is kind of awkward. She walks up to me and she says, hi, Jan. I said, hi, Nancy, so great to finally meet you in person. She said, yes, same here. I said, I'm really surprised you're speaking to me. And she said, well, no, Jan, this is not personal. I said, good, I'm glad you feel that way. And she said, now, I wish you hadn't gone national with your announcement. But, okay. I said, well, I went national when I made my announcement to endorse Ted. So I had to do the same thing when I withdrew that endorsement, because there are some people, 5 or 6 people out there in America that listen to me. So we had a nice conversation about what she's doing next and moving on. But here's the thing, folks. We are in the 4th quarter. This is not the 1st quarter. And when you hear things like, vote your conscience. See, Hala asked me that too. She said, well, what's wrong with voting your conscience? I said, well, I just hope that your conscience isn't telling you that you don't cut off your nose to spite your own face, because we don't have time to play that game right now, okay? We do that kind of thing back when we're in the 1st quarter of the game and we got time to make up ground. But right now, Hala, this isn't about Donald Trump or Hillary Clinton, okay? Let me just tell you that. This is not about Trump or Clinton. This is about our United States Supreme Court, which is going to be the person who wins this election is going to name 3, possibly 5 Supreme Court justices. And those justices will make decisions that will impact my country for generations to come. And yes, that's what it's about. So can we quit talking about Trump and Hillary? I want to talk about what this is really about. She said, so this is really what it's about with you all? I said, yes. Yes. So I don't want to talk about Trump's tan or his latest thing. I want to talk about policies. I want to talk about who he has told me he's going to appoint to the Supreme Court. He's announced it nationally. You know who Hillary's going to appoint to the Supreme Court? I know, yes, Barack Obama, there you go. I know Donald Trump has given us a list of these are the people that I'm going to be looking at. And even though Donald Trump made a mistake some years ago about assault weapons ban, he has since evolved on that issue. Because Donald Trump understands, folks, that this isn't about him and his personal wishes. This is about the millions of people who have elected him to represent our will. Okay? And Donald Trump is not a polished, politically correct politician. And while some people use that to hate him, there are many people in America that say that's the reason we love him. Because he doesn't always say things just right. Do you always say things just right? I don't. And because he understands that this isn't about him. And this isn't about him making all the decisions for America. It's about surrounding himself with the finest, the greatest, the most intelligent patriots in our nation to help us bring this country back, folks. And so if you're still standing there in that area where you're going, I just can't. I've got to vote my conscience. I hope your conscience realizes that we're in the fourth quarter on the final play. And that I understand and I appreciate the fact that you're a principled person. You're my kind of person. I like that. But I think that you're letting your anger and personal pride interfere with your ability to understand where we are in this game. And if we lose in a few months, we're 2 or 3 months away. If we lose, it's gone, folks. There's nothing to try to recover, short of a bloody revolution. And I know there are people out there chomping at the bit with their guns and their ammo and they're prepping and all that, and they think, I'm ready. Okay, you can sit there and talk about that, but unless you've ever served our country and you've been in a war zone, I think you have no idea. I do not want to bring America to her knees. And look, folks, for those of you who are, I am ultra-conservative. I've always told people, you know, here's the left, here's the right, here's the NRA, and then here's Jan Morgan, way over here with the founding fathers, okay? I'm with you. I understand that. I understand what you love about Ted Cruz, okay? I understand that. I understand why you still love him. So I'm not here to pick at you about that today. I'm just here to make sure that you understand that there's a time and a place for Ted Cruz. And I believe, if I have my wishes, Donald Trump would say, Ted Cruz, Supreme Court. Yeah. And that could still happen once they get over their thing. Boy, that was nasty, wasn't it? It was. I hate that. Because you see, Democrats don't act like that. But we do, because we fight. When we're so passionate, sometimes we forget that other people are watching us fight. You know how when you fight at home with your family and nobody watches, you may say things you wish you hadn't said, but if somebody was watching, you would definitely curtail how you say it. But right now, let's say Ted Cruz had won this primary. Our country has moved so far left, folks. I don't believe that there are enough of us conservatives in this country, because we're going to have to pull in some independents. We're going to have to pull in some moderate Democrats. We're going to have to really pull, because we have allowed ourselves to get to this point in America. We've allowed this. This has happened under our watch, folks, because we weren't fighting hard enough. We thought simply that principle and doing the right thing would keep us where we needed to be in the White House and in Congress, but it's not. So here we are. We've got to get, right now, I believe the American people have spoken, and we have a Republican nominee, and we need you to support him. If you can't say something good, if you can't then talk bad about Hillary, but don't bash our guy, you know? If you're not sure what to say, call me. I can give you pages and pages. Just talk about her. If you can't bring it in your heart and soul to say something nice about Trump because he irritates the crap out of you, then just stay on her. Stay on her. But don't fight us. Don't fight the rest of us who are in there trying to win, because I understand. We got this one play left and we've got to win it. And then once we win and we show the American people how much better America can be when our side is in control, then I think it's going to be easier for a Ted Cruz or a more conservative-minded patriot to get elected. But we've got to pull all these other people into our side first, okay? So I'm going to be watching on social media, and if I see any of you talking bad about Trump, no, I love you guys. I really appreciate you having me here today. I don't want to go over my time because I know it's lunchtime, and I know how people get when they need their food. What time is it? How much? What time is it now? 6 more minutes. 6 more minutes. I'm going to take it. Okay. 6 more minutes. So while I've got 6 minutes, do we all agree here now that we're not going to fight anymore with each other until after the election's over? Can we do that? Can we do that? Yeah. Oh my gosh, that is weak. USA, 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 USA. Because if we don't win, it's not going to be USA anymore with Hillary at the helm, okay? So we all got to get on the same side. Because just think of it this way: if we were playing a tug of war. Remember when kids used to actually get outside and exercise and play games? Back when I was a little girl, back in the dark ages, we used to play tug of war. And you pick your people on your side, okay? So here we are, we got our side, and then we've got Hillary's side. And then we're getting ready to pull the rope. We're going to pull them down. We got all these players. But then we've got some players on our team that go, well, no, I'm not going to pull the rope for our side because I want to be on his team. I'm going to go over there and stand by Ted Cruz or Gary, what's his name, the libertarian. I'm going to stand over here. Okay. Well then, okay, I said, well, wait a minute. He doesn't have a rope. He's not in the game. So I understand that you like him and everything, but okay, this is the game we're playing right now. So can you just kind of get on board and we'll work on making it his team next time? Okay, right? So, are we all together here today? Okay, we're all together. Please help us fight. Yeah, lock her up, exactly. Trump has said that he will look into that. He will look into that. Oh gosh, we need another attorney general too. Jeez. I think he mentioned Trey Gowdy. Yeah. Trump is listening to you. He's listening. He's listening, folks. He's got some of his foreign policy team. Oh my gosh. If I could have picked an A team, there they are. Dr. Wally Ferris, ooh, he's a tough guy. Okay, so I've only got 3 minutes left, right? Here's what I want to say. I wanted to throw in a couple things because I don't know that Dan got a chance to mention this, but on the 2A front, all right, we've got this game ahead of us that's we're either going to win or lose, and if we lose, it's over for America. It's over, okay? So we got to win this one. But once that's over, we need to start preparing for the next one. All right? And the way we do that is talking to each other and talking to our friends and neighbors. I've heard it, if I've heard it once, I've heard it 1,000 times. In fact, I was told before I came here 2 or 3 weeks ago, somebody sent me a message with the Tea Party and said, okay, you can talk about anything, but just don't mention the presidential election. I was like, excuse me? Okay, wait. Well, no, because we've got a lot of upset people. We're trying to bring everybody together. And I said, well, I appreciate that, but let me tell you something. Just take me on speaker's list. Because if I can't discuss, that would be like having a big white elephant in the room. I mean, here it is. What good is the Second Amendment if Hillary gets in there? She wants to erase it. It doesn't exist. It's not there. It's up for negotiation. Okay. So we got to get over this thing of, well, we can't talk to each other. Oh, well, so-and-so she's really strong on the other team, and so we can't talk about this whole thing because she might get offended. I don't want to make her mad. When did we get to this place in America, folks, where we can't just engage in civilized discourse without it becoming personal? You know, I don't hate anybody because they like some other candidate. Because once again, we're all still on the same side. We really can't afford that. We need to get back to talking, sharing ideas, networking. That's how you win. This isn't a single, you know, you're not a lone person out there. It's going to take a village to defeat the left. Yes, it's going to take a village. We got to do it, folks. So we need to talk. And specifically, I need you, if you're not involved in shooting sports or gun rights issues, you have got to help me, folks. I can't be out there fighting this battle just because I'm on TV and fighting it on a national level. That doesn't help me on the local level. This goes back to your local elections. Did you know that? When you're electing city council members, you think, well, what does the Second Amendment have to do with that? Everything. When somebody is running for your city council, you need to ask them, where do you stand on the Second Amendment? And I don't care if they give you this stupid look. You say, well, the reason I'm asking that is because in Llewellyn, Michigan, the city council there voted away the gun rights of the citizens. Completely. Told the people, we have a new rule in our city, because our city council has passed it. You cannot carry a gun in our city limits, even if you have a concealed weapons permit, unless you take 5 days of our classes at a cost of $1,100, and you have to write a 1,000-word essay explaining to us why you should have the right and why you need to carry a gun. See, that's a city council. It's a city. And the citizens there allow that to happen. So yes, you've got to vet the people on your local level who are running for office. Everything you do, every political office, your sheriff's race, you need to know, where do you stand, Sheriff, on the Second Amendment? Do you understand that Arkansas is an open carry state, Sheriff? That means that you don't tell your deputies to start arresting people who are open carry because maybe they can't afford to take a gun class and buy a gun and take a state $139 to get a permit. Does that mean because they can't afford it that they shouldn't have a right to defend their life? No! No! You need to know where these people stand on the Second Amendment when they're running for office. And you need to talk to your family members. Those are the hardest, aren't they? Yes. I know, I've got some in my family, believe it or not. But you've got to talk to these people. And you've got to learn to engage with them in a way that it's not condescending, because we tend to get a little cocky because we can throw the facts out and they support our side, and that doesn't work well. It doesn't work well with those folks. I learned that. I was on national TV. Before I read Dan Wass's book, Trish Regan, I was on her show, and she's a libertarian. She's supportive of gun rights, but we were talking about the issue of open carry in Texas, and she said, Jan, this is the conversation we had on national TV live. She said, Jan, I just don't know. She said, say we're at the ice cream stand. And I've got my little girls there, and we're there to get some ice cream, and there you stand in front of us to get your ice cream, and you're wearing a big old gun on your hip, right at my little girl's eye level. I just don't know that I like that. And then I just popped out my little NRA answer. I said, well, Trish, thankfully, I'm so glad that your irrational fear of guns don't trump my rights. Well, isn't that a nasty thing to say? That was so nasty. I felt so bad. I could see the look on her face because she was genuinely trying to discuss this with me and tell me how she felt, and I just slammed her down with that little snarky NRA statement. Because I've said it so many times. We have all of our little statements, but you know what? That was not the right thing to say. And I hurt myself with her rather than helped her. What I should have said was, you know, Trish, I understand that. Coming from someone that really doesn't handle guns a lot, I can understand why you might be afraid for that gun to be that close to your daughter. But understand that I've had training, I've taken classes, I've passed a background check. The people like me who are open carrying a gun on my hip, we're not the ones you need to be afraid of. I mean, discussing it with her rather than slapping her down because we can win, we got the numbers, we got the facts. So talk to your people. Get Dan Wass's book. I'm telling you, it has helped me tremendously. I had to debate this woman with Moms Demand Action. You're not going to believe this. I had to debate her on Fox. Her name, and this is really her name. She's anti-gun, and her name is Leah Gunn Barrett. When they told me I was going to be debating Leah Gunn-Barrett, she's the anti-gun bill, I said, this is a joke? Is that really her name? I mean, why couldn't my parents have named me Jan Gunn Kimber Remington Ruger? I don't know. But anyway, it's been a great, I've enjoyed talking with you, and I hope that if nothing else, I've helped to ease the tension here on this whole thing that's going on between us. And let's please all come together and have our Kumbaya election, and then you can get back out there and start fighting for your position of conservative values and your guide for the next time around. But we can't win without you, okay? Gotta have you. I love you. God bless you. God bless you.
We've got some great. Yes.
I always do this. I'm going to be over here at Dan Wass's table autographing books for a few minutes, but if you don't get an autographed book today, we are having a book signing at the Gun Cave, my range, all day tomorrow from 1 to 7, and he'll be there. If you can't come, maybe you can call and order the book over the phone, and we'll save it for you there or something. But anyway, we'll be there all day tomorrow as well. I can't stay today. I'm only going to be here for another 30 minutes or so, and then I got to go back and teach a pistol class. So I'll see you guys hopefully tomorrow at the gun range.